All right, Ian, we have an update.
Update.
On the Wata auctions a year ago that were quite shocking, I think, to some. In particular, the $33,000 Super Mario Brothers 3 prototype that went, along with some of the other sales we didn't even talk about. I don't know if we talked about like the did we even talk about the $50,000 Legend of Zelda sale? I think we glossed over some of them.
I think we might have. I mean, there was a lot.
There was too many to go over. But Pat has sources. I have I'll keep anonymous sources that basically revealed that there was one person, one extremely rich person that bought a lot of these high-priced ticket items, which makes sense when you think about it. There can't be a huge amount of people that are going around making these insane purchases. There has to be a smaller amount of people doing this. There just isn't enough people that have this amount of money to blow to take this sort of financial risk. So this came to me by someone who personally, knows the person that made the purchase, and that person shared the purchases, who then shared it with us about what they purchased. I'm not going to reveal their identity. I'm just going to say we're going to just run through, some of the stuff that that were purchased though. But this is a millionaire person that came from the coin collecting world and made their money with coin collecting, which is what we always speculate about with this high price. These are not people that are video game collectors. They are coming.
No, they're coming from other collecting markets.
Yes. Because the people that used to collect the graded games, and it was always a small group of people. Whenever trust me, Ian and I go to before COVID up to 10 conventions a year for almost 8-9 years. I see how many people are buying graded games, and it ain't many people. It's a very small amount of people. Lovely fellow who were next to us at Long Island Retro Gaming Expo next year was selling graded games. I think he told me at the end of the weekend he made only maybe a handful or a few different sales that weekend.
Sure,
it's not a lot of people in general,
right?
And so when you think about that, it's like, okay, that makes sense. So who's actually purchasing this stuff? So we have the list of things that one individual purchased, Ian, and the grand total. The grand total that this person spent on the one auction that went around September of last year, Ian. Do you want to drum roll me on this grand total of how much was spent as I bring up the email here? $137,760 they spent on one auction.
Wow.
That includes the buyer's premium, obviously, so it's only 80% of that. That's still over $100,000 with Pat math. The shipping only $300 because it's this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's only about 15 games that they spent. So on average, about $9,000 each, roughly, give or take. And then shipping on those 15 games was about $300. I'm thinking that's like courier registered mail, where it's like next day, overnight.
Right.
Like it's going to be a guy who fucking shows up and gives you your stuff. Like you're not going to chance that. All right. So this individual purchased that $33,000 prototype. Well, without the premium, it was $31,200. I say $31,200. It was Super Mario Bros. 3 Wata certified. So right off, I'm not saying Ian and I are geniuses when it comes to stuff. But when we predict who's buying this stuff, a lot of times we always say these are people that don't have knowledge of what they're buying. And this is evidence of that.
Yes.
And this is someone who's not a game collector who's spending way too much money on this, that not only probably didn't investigate, is this an actual prototype? This person probably never investigated. There's probably more of these game samples or review cards out there.
Sure.
To know that, hey, this isn't a one-of-a-kind item or even two-of-a-kind. There could be 10 of these. I saw one person speculate there's I think there's between 20 and 30 of these. I don't know. But there's probably not one of these. If they're sending them out to reviewers and, there's more of these out there.
Right.
If it's one-of-a-kind, maybe you can even make that case, even though I still wouldn't. That'd be worth that much. But the $50,000 Legend of Zelda, that's to me is insane. Sealed or not, it's still insane. Then you have more. You have stuff like a Pac-Man, an Atari Pac-Man 9.4, $3,300. There's tons of Pac-Mans out. I mean, come on, man.
It's wild.
Come on, man. A Spider Fighter on an Atari, is that one of those weird games, I'm not going to say esoteric, that people talk about on Atari?
I think it might be an esoteric game. Yeah.
Does it
I think I've seen that before, but yeah, I don't know.
is that a game in video game history that anyone talks about? No. Spider Fighter is not a thing. Space Invaders, $6,000. The Miss Pac-Man 9.8 for $10,200. Come on, man. There's cartons of those out there. Mega Mania for $2,400.
Spider Fighter is also an Activision title, so I mean, it could not have been that limited.
Is this someone?
Well, granted, Hero goes for a lot, but still.
Masters of the Universe for $6,000. Again, this is someone thinking, well, it's a property, and it's the first video game of its type. Yes. I'm going to spend $6,000. Frogger for $4,500. Warlords for $2,100. Hey, I love Warlords. It's $2,100 for a sealed one's insane. What else? Batman: Return of the Joker, 9.8 for $7,800. That's a NES. A sealed hang tab 7.0. Duck Hunt for $600. That's probably the reasonable one out of this lot. Pinball sealed for $2,600. With ActRaiser 2, 9.4 for $1,440 on the Super Nintendo. So this isn't to call out this person individually. You'll probably this may never get back to them. It probably won't. But someone who comes to you and can say, I spent nearly 150 grand in video games in one day, or one weekend, I guess, if it's spread over a few days. These are not a lot of people, and you're gonna say, hey Pat, yeah, but you need at least 2 people to bid them up. Yeah, but you only need 2, maybe 3 to get these insane prices, maybe 4. You don't need 50 or 100 people. Right. You just need a handful. You need several to do that. These several people out there will just say, if you want to say a dozen, you want to be generous, Ian, a couple dozen. They are radically shifting the paradigm of prices, not just on these games now, but now we've seen for the complete in-box market as well, which I thought wouldn't be affected. But now when you see a Legend of Zelda complete in box go for hundreds of dollars out of nowhere, or even potentially now go for thousands, you're like, this is nuts. And this is a small amount of people that are doing it who don't know any better.
Right. You don't have to spend this much money.
And they're flushing the money down the toilet. And so when asked, why is this person doing this? It's like, well, they're an investor. They want to get into it, and they want to see where this is in 10 years. They think this is like comic books or something else, so they want to see what happens with it. So, you'll probably not see these games resurface for several years. They're hoping that they're going to strike it big and that these will be all $100,000 games, or they think it's going to be like comic books or like coins. I guess maybe coins at one point weren't that valuable. I don't know anything about the coin market, but it's what we said before. It is unknowledgeable speculators.
Yes.
That's what it is. And maybe some of these people just have, maybe they have an ego and think, yeah, I want to spend this amount of money because I can.
Sure.
I can't picture doing that myself unless, hey, if you're worth $20-30 million, maybe you can do that. I just think it's weird to do that with video games.
Couldn't be you. Couldn't be you.
What's that?
Couldn't be you.
I wouldn't do it if I was a millionaire. I wouldn't do it. Because I know it's an insane risk to take. What do we always say, Ian, about investing in video games? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't let that be that primary reason to do game collecting. And this is specifically in print the reason why they are making these insane purchases. And again, this is one time, and it was described, Ian, via my source, that this person that bought this stuff, it's an experiment. It's an $130,000 experiment to them. So there you go. And now. Also, the news is that since the purchase, a game rep from Heritage is constantly contacting them, pushing other items, and thinking that his plan of investment is a great idea. Yeah. So that's horrifying. Then, Ian, if I make a couple of purchases on Heritage, I'm gonna have a fucking sales rep calling me, telling me about other items to purchase.
Yeah, that's awful.
So I'm glad I didn't win that Alien 3 from a month ago.
Yeah.
Or 5 weeks. I almost did. I was the second highest bidder. Because that would be funny as hell. I think I've met these people before at Comic-Con, so I'll know who these people are. Anyway, anything else to add, Ian? I mean, it's I told you so, but I mean, what else is it?
No, I mean, nothing to add. I mean, you pretty much covered it. It's exactly what I thought it is. It's people coming in from other markets, not really knowing the value, paying, whatever the fuck they want for it, and that's that. The value. Do you think this will be a sound investment 10 years down the line, that it'll increase that much to make it worth sitting away for 7, 8, 9, 10 years? Oh yeah, absolutely rock solid.
It's rock solid investment.
It's going to be
have it tied up in sealed video games.
He's got a couple oil fields worth
you
the
think,
game.
you think that Miss Pac-Man is going to increase in value from 10 grand over 10 years?
It's going to be worth $1 million buckaroos.
$1 million. Do you imagine if that was the case and people have like 5 cartons of it and it's like, oh, I can buy a sports team now.
I'm a $5 millionaire.
I can buy the San Diego Gulls right here, the little minor league hockey team. There. That's my goal, Ian. I want to be rich enough not to buy a big sports team, to buy a minor league team. Or an arena football team like Bon Jovi did. I want to be like Bon Jovi rich.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all. Just Bon Jovi rich.
Just Bon Jovi rich.